Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to episode number 73 of the Nod League to Legend French edition, also known as Better Than PSG, also known as Paris 13 Atletico. We have got our first ever French Cup semi-final. That is correct. For the first time in our history, it's taken until season 8. We've got into the French Cup semi-final, and we have OJ News, who currently sits 10th with a chance to make the final. Since we last met, we've played a few games in the league. We also played, obviously, the quarterfinal, which was meant to be easy, and it wasn't. We'll recap those results now for you. Obviously, the last time we saw each other was Benfica for the 4-0 dropping over 2 legs, and us getting beat by PSG 1-0. We beat FCSM in the league. We won 3-1. Honhul, or also known as Kim as his middle name, made his debut, saved a penalty, which was fantastic. One of the signings that we did make in the last episode. Looks like a pretty decent keeper. He's developing slowly, is the keeper as well. We played there against FCSM in the league. Mokoku scoring a goal and getting an assist, and Mokoku is the first player we're going to have a chat about. We signed him as a 3-star player already at 3.5 star and has potential to be world class. As you can see, I've said it, growth's weird this year on FM. It looks like players get their best growth between 24 and 26. Mokoku's come in. He's played regular minutes for the first time in his career. For those that don't know what they saw, he was barely playing at Dortmund, all off the bench with all these games. He's come in, 5 mil, 3 goals and 4 appearances in the league. He's got 7 in 8, which includes 4 goals in 2 cup games to get us to said semi-final. We then played FCSM and we were cruising at 2-0. Mokoku scored a brace, took a few boys off to bring them off and say, okay, this game's over. Walked back in the room after getting a drink. Next minute was 2-2. Had to go to a shootout. Hoyerman making 2 saves in the shootout, and we got through to make our first semi-final. For those that don't know, I've been knocked out in the quarterfinal numerous times. Most importantly, a couple of seasons ago against Angers. We lost when they had 2 shots won. We had 30 shots with 18 on target. We lost 1-0. It's been quite fun, has the cup. We then beat Harvey AC, who are in the bottom half of the table. We won 3-1. First time Areola has actually had a good match rating, but in saying that, did concede. We have moved into the 4-3-3. It has looked better in the second half of the year than the 4-2-3-1. I've got a theory 4-2-3-1 to start the year and then 4-3-3 to end the year, with the 5 at the back thrown in where needed. We did have a good game. Bessett for the first time getting an assist and a goal. Mokoku scoring as well. And look, young Bessett, I don't think he's going to win next gen, but has developed quite well, and seeing that growth continues until they're 26 by the looks of things. Look, playing well, doing stuff off the bench. He's got very good mentals. I think this kid's going to become quite the player, even though they reckon the star rating isn't there. Just looks like star ratings move around. Like, Jorgensen's playing minutes, is developing, played 14 minutes this year, and he's going to start today because we do have Ingwes out suspended. And apparently, even though he's been developing and he's just turned 18, apparently we don't have any good potential on him. Makes no sense. OJ Nice obviously made said semi-final as well. They actually knocked out PSG for us in the French Cup. They won 1-0. They then had a playoff game in the Champions League where they got beat by Monaco, so pretty tough to get Monaco there because they're having a good year. But look, their only chance of Europe is actually winning this competition or going on a run in the league and chasing down Dijon, who go on a losing streak. So they're going to be quite tough, you do feel, as well. Important to note, in the other French Cup semi-final, AC and JC, who 5th, have made the final. We're not going to look too far away, but they beat Olympic Lyon 4-1, AJ Azourier 3-0, and then had a pretty easy run up until then. That's some pretty impressive performances. So even if we were to make the final, I don't think we would be in like, oh my God, we're going to win it sort of mood. Team is as full strength as we can. Play Jorgensen going in at right back. Zeno and Kana have not had good times. I think Zeno is going to be one player in the off season we're going to look to sell, and we're going to go after. It just looks like ball playing defenders are just no good. So I'm going to look to go after an actual centre back that's just out and out, or a right back that's really going to move in Guez the centre back. I don't know which one it's going to be. I'm going to give Kim the game. I think I would play Areola in the final. Main reason is just that Areola being 36 experience. He's come as first choice, so we'll give him the final. But I think Kim deserves to probably play here as well. I'm playing Kim in as many of the 19s games in the friendlies as possible as well. Just want to see his growth. Zeno and Kana, Suselo's been really good since coming in. It's like Ias, Roviella's been fantastic. Melbalai has been here or thereabouts. Bakayoko, Dosu's coming back from an injury, but still very good. And Makoku's Makoku. Please note that now a 3-star player for us, according to our coaches, are good players. And we see that people keep growing into their 26. Don't expect Dosu to not continue to keep growing. He's probably going to. Same with Melbalai as well. So now we're looking for people to be 3-star or better. Makes our regens that we get through our intake probably look a little bit better. We haven't had, obviously, intake just yet. They've got a good side, though, OJ Nice. We did beat them very well in the 4-2-3-1 not too long ago. Hopefully we go out there. OJ Nice are going to line up in the 4-3-3 with Benedetto. People may know as the keeper. They've got Nikolai Mikhailovic. I have absolutely butchered that. Sessegnong's out there as well. They got Hamad Traore, who's a decent player. Tony Martinez is very experienced and knows what he's doing. Papa Matrassar's on the bench, who's a pretty good player as well. Goncalves is a regen that I'm actually looking at maybe trying to sign if he leaves on a free. And people know, obviously, Arsene, the Russian, he's very good with very good technicals as well. So, very good team. I think even Amrabat people will know the Moroccan, who's very experienced in the middle of the park too. So, very recognisable side. We did lose the toss for colours here in the semi, but I actually prefer us in our fluoro kit. So, there you go. They've not been in the best of form. We've been in really good form in the 4-3-3. Do note that I believe all the way up until the final, there is no extra time. So I do believe, like in the quarterfinal, if we were to make the final, this would go. It used to be level after 90. This would go straight to penalties, which we actually do have some decent penalty takers around. Makoku being one of them. Please note, Bakayoko is playing with an injection, like I did mention, so he might need to come off early. But Melbalai wins the ball, beats a few outside of the boot over the bar. We will be getting Salama on for Melbalai at some point. Salama's finally happy with his game time. But I have dropped him here. I think for us, the challenge is going to be, can we get on the ball? In the 4-2-3-1, we kind of blitzed them. In the 4-3-3, it's not the general way to blitz. We look to get on the ball, knock it around. And so far, struggling for possession, but creating chances. And with that being said, I might, judging by the state of play, move into that. And the main reason for that is I think this game's calling out for Melbalai to get in the hole, getting in and behind Makoku and feeding him. And last time we played him in this, we were okay. Now, Kim plays the ball out. He's okay with his feet, but not great. I think we have lost the passing ability of Shinola playing out, but it is what it is. Anyway, good header for Melbalai. Makoku's quick enough to get there, and he taps it past the keeper, who keeps it out, but Makoku taps it in. Weird highlight. Would have much rather seen Makoku finish first time, but he continues his goal-scoring run of form in the 4-2-3-1's produced, and we do lead 1-0. Good header from Melbalai back into the channel. Makoku just didn't put enough on it and took a slight deflection. Keeper somehow gets there, but Makoku's quick enough to tap home. He's doing exactly what we need of him, which is go out there, produce, do what you need to do, and off you go. Apparently, Melbalai has been credited the assist, which is nice. So moving into the 4-2-3-1 has produced that moment. Probably will look to move back into the 4-3-3 not too shortly. Kana gets a tackle there. Lucky that it wasn't a foul. Kana again picks the ball up. He's good at his feet. Instead, he lomps one looking for Makoku, who ain't going to win that. Yeah, we have looked a little bit more longer since we've sold Shinola. I don't know if that's a goalkeeper thing or whatever, but that's a ball and a half to Fabiano. And a great save from Kin. Stood up, made himself big, and flicks one over the bar, does the new signing. The potential for first choice. Next 2 years, he's going to be playing, I think, the easier games stat pad him, and then at 25, we're going to get him in playing some regular minutes, I think. And hopefully by then he's starting for Norway. I'm definitely not loaning him out. I'm going to be loaning out Gabellini, who's a bit younger, for a couple of years and seeing if he develops into a very good backup as well. We do lead 1-0. It's a very good first half. I'm going to leave this system for the next 5 minutes just to see if maybe we find one more goal. Hate these highlights when they're that deep of a free kick. Mercifully, though, it wasn't just us giving the ball back to him, right in front of the box, but we'd have given the ball back to him anyway. They never lead to good highlights when they're that deep. Amrabat, Sumar, good ball out to Ryan Sessegnong. He can hit one, does, but that's wide. Marshall him around. And the reason I left it like this is I do think we'll find another chance, but I'm going to maybe go back into the 4-3-3 here and actually try to win the ball and knock it around here as well. Bakayoko playing with that knock. If we get a second, we'll definitely look to take him off with that. It's not a big injury. It's only a 10-week injury. But yeah, and well, there you go. Ball in bat stick from Bakayoko. Mokoku scored again. Just buying him for 6 mil was just peanuts. I'm just going to put that out there. It's absolute peanuts. Him in a full year under his belt is going to be huge, I reckon. Mokoku at the bat stick. Bennett probably should do a little bit better, but doesn't get there. And well, that's 2-0. Bakayoko's got an assist. I am going to go and get Bessett on out there, which is fine. And I'm going to get Melbalai off for Salama. I know he's having a good game as Melbalai, but Salama just needs to continue his minutes. And he's actually a very good footballer, Salama. I actually have a lot of time for him, so get him out there as well. 70 minutes played. So yes, on a booking. They've moved into the 4-4-2, which I do not like. Time ticking away here. Rovella and Dossu both not fit. Mokoku having an excellent game. I think Collie is going to come straight in here for Dossu to try and hit him on a break. At the same time, also going to move us into slightly a little bit of time wasting here as well. Just still play the same football, but time waste where the opportunity arises. You know, might take some time to, you know, get the ball in from play for a throw-in or from corners, but still look to go. Look for Collie there. It was the right idea, actually, from Susello. He just didn't find Collie. Made a good run. Only problem is them in a 4-4-2, they could go very direct and break us down with 2 up top. Be interesting to see what goes on here. Yet again, match ratings are just broken for centre-backs. We're 2-0 up. We haven't given away much, and they're on 6.5s. It's really annoying. And then you could see one really late, and then you get angry. Anyway, great ball from Mokoku. Collie's there, and he really should have done better. I think the defender's done enough to put him off there slightly. Time ticks away. Corner. We've been all over OJ Nice. We are going to make the final, which is fantastic. And Rovella to whip one. And does. Zeno rises high, doesn't get there. Collie flicks back into Salama. Mokoku for a hat-trick, fires wide. He looks like a different level of gravy. We've been crying out for a big-name striker. They're actually down to 10 men. Just realised that ourselves. Is that they're down to 10 men. With that being said, with them going down to 10 men, I might actually move into that and that and that, just so we can maybe stay on the front foot. You watch them scores, I'm making changes. Watch them scores, I'm making changes. I'm going to go, you know what, go on the front foot, see if we can find a third and get Mokoku's hat-trick. And announce that. And it's just so they can bring up this fucking thing. No, don't make the change now, we conceded. Highlight. Oh, that's not what we want. We have a habit of conceding late goals. Proven again. Salama, Collie to kill it. Great save from Bennett. And the Rabona gets cleared. Hopefully that's the highlight. We're through to the final. We are. Yet again, it's a late goal. Yet again, Canner and Zeno get a poor match rating. I can't get centre-backs to get good match ratings. Answers on a postcard. But at least Mokoku scored 2. We look good. Melbalai and Bakayoko played really well. And we're into our first final. And that's the main thing. Is what I will say. We're into our first final, but it's not good for Canner, it's not good for Zeno. That we're copping that. Look, I'm chuffed. We're going to be obviously favourites for said final because we are playing a League 2 side who are fighting to only just come up. They're not like they're blitzing. But yeah, it is what it is. We've got Marseille in 3 days. I'm not going to give you that game. There is probably no need. Even if we were to lose to Marseille, we'd still be ahead by a number of points. And we obviously, 14 points clear of Lyon there. 15 points clear of Rennes and Dijon. With that being said, I think if, you know, we've obviously got Marseille, then Dijon, then Rennes. We've got the next 3 games against the sides all around us. If we were to even lose all 3, we then got Toulouse, Saint-Étienne, AJ, Rosario. My next episode that I'm going to come for you, I'm going to come back for you is... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back for the Monaco game as a standalone game to say, okay, this is what it looks like we're going to be finishing. And then from there, we're going to give you, obviously, the French Cup final and a season recap as well. So I think that's what we're going to do. There's confirmation we are in the final here at Paris 13 Atletico. I'll see you guys next time for another episode. And, well, we've made our first semi-final. We've won said semi-final. And now let's go make our first final and hopefully win that one too. See you then. Thank you and goodbye.